practice DevOps at Hopelabs. What is Terraform? Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool that lets you build, change, and version cloud and on-prem resources safely and efficiently. HashiCorp Terraform is an infrastructure as code tool that lets you define both cloud and on-prem resources in human-readable configuration files that you can version, reuse, and share. You can then use a consistent workflow to provision and manage all of your infrastructure throughout its life cycle. Terraform can manage low-level components like compute, storage, and networking resources, as well as high-level components like DNS entries and SaaS features. Terraform is written in HashiCorp Configuration Language, HCL, which is a fully functional and immutable-based programming language. How Terraform works. Terraform creates and manages resources on cloud platforms and other services through their application programming interfaces, APIs. Providers enable Terraform to work with virtually any platform or service with an accessible API. Right, you define resources, which may be across multiple cloud providers and services. For example, you might create a configuration to deploy an application on virtual machines in a virtual private cloud, VPC, network with security groups and a load balancer. Plan. Terraform creates an execution plan describing the infrastructure it will create, update, or destroy based on the existing infrastructure and your configuration. Apply. On approval, Terraform performs the proposed operations in the correct order, respecting any resource dependencies. For example, if you update the properties of a VPC and change the number of virtual machines in that VPC, Terraform will recreate the VPC before scaling the virtual machines. Infrastructure state management. Terraform generates a plan and prompts you for your approval before modifying your infrastructure. It also keeps track of your real infrastructure in a state file, which acts as a source of truth for your environment. Terraform uses the state file to determine the changes to make to your infrastructure so that it will match your configuration. Use case of Terraform. You can use Terraform to create, provision, and bootstrap a demo on various cloud providers. This lets end users easily try the software on their own infrastructure and even enables them to adjust parameters like cluster size to more rigorously test tools at any scale. What is the benefit of Terraform? Terraform can store local variables, including passwords and cloud tokens on Terraform registry in encrypted form. Furthermore, the configuration files of Terraform define the infrastructure resources to be managed. Besides, it can create an applicable plan, alongside executing and managing it continuously. Terraform provides a flexible abstraction of resources and providers. This model allows for representing everything from physical hardware, virtual machines, and containers, to email and DNS providers. Terraform configuration files are declarative, meaning that they describe the end state of your infrastructure. You do not need to write step-by-step instructions to create resources because Terraform handles the underlying logic. Terraform builds a resource graph to determine resource dependencies and creates or modifies non-dependent resources in parallel. This allows Terraform to provision resources efficiently. Why Terraform open source? Adopt infrastructure as code and use a common configuration language to provision thousands of different types of resources and services. Codify your infrastructure so that you can check configuration files into a version control system, VCS, to safely manage contributions. Manually pull the most up-to-date version to perform Terraform operations. Use and publish public infrastructure templates called modules to implement industry and organization best practices. Group your infrastructure into logically related components, and deploy infrastructure more quickly. Subscribe, like, and share,